So what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Movement6. Before we start, huge thank you to everybody who subbed in the last few days. If you're new here, drop that like, subscribe, and hit those notification buttons. Not miss a thing. Not really great in uploading the last week. My sincere apologies for that. I had some business and private things I needed to attend to. I'm a small channel. I need to make choices, right? It's not my source of income, but doesn't really stop me from actually picking out the things I really wanted to discuss. And what I want to discuss here today, I'm just looking quickly on my right to see if my audio is okay. It should be okay. What I wanted to discuss is the fact that Sony is a company which is hard to love nowadays, from my perspective. I think the PlayStation 4, where it was in the final days of the PlayStation 4 as a platform before the 5 came out, was a pretty awesome gaming platform. Still is. With the PlayStation VR, the ecosystem, the games, there is a reason that PlayStation 4 won that generation of consoles. If you look at the exclusive, the PlayStation VR and how they tied into that gaming platform, and the support, it was in a really good place. But if you now see what they're pulling off, I think it's even worse when the PlayStation 4 came out, because at the time we also needed to wait for a lot of software updates to make things possible. Even simple things that a background change wasn't possible. We also did not have external HDD support from launch. And if you now look what PlayStation is doing, Sony PlayStation, across the board. First, we've seen the news that the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita stores, as well as the PlayStation Portable, are going to close. From the PlayStation Portable, I can relate, very old system. But on the PlayStation 3 and Vita side, we now also see the messages coming out that updates for games you previously installed and now reinstalled, for example, on a Vita or a PlayStation 3, that the updates cannot be installed anymore. They're already gone. On the other side, we do have a lot of developers still, indie developers, that make a business out of PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games, and they're now being told we're going to close shop, so goodbye, so that's pretty hard. Furthermore, the backwards compatibility, if it comes down to PlayStation 5 and previous generation, it's not that great. It extends only to PlayStation 4 games. They need to be installed on an external HDD, and then you could play them on a PlayStation 5. It's not really straightforward, and from my perspective, currently, PlayStation 5 is in a worse state as a platform right now, where Xbox Series X is. In terms of compatibility, backwards compatibility, the Xbox Series X extends all the way back to the original Xbox, the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. You can play and store and play from an external HDD. And if you also look what Game Pass has to offer, I'm currently more excited for an Xbox Series X than I am for a PlayStation 5. Yes, I'm keen to get my hands on them, both of them. But if I just look on the offering from a business perspective and a gaming perspective, I have a massive PC. If I put an Xbox Series X, I can get rid of the Xbox One, and I'm well suited, I'm perfectly capable of playing all those fantastic games. Now, we do know that Sony is really tied on into generations. They truly believe in that. But there is nothing wrong in supporting your own community to keep on loving the games we used to play. I'm still playing the original Resident Evil, for example, on my Vita. And hope to do it, because when I can start traveling again for my business, then my Vita was always something that I have in my back pocket. Now, the next update on the PlayStation 5 is, as you can see, Sony now lets you store but not play PlayStation 5 games on the external hard drives. PlayStation 5 has now been plagued with the issue of only having 825 gigabyte of storage internally, from which just 667 is usable space for your games. The rest is just formatted for operating systems and so on. Now, currently, the backwards compatibility also forces you to have PS4 title on external drives, but until now it wasn't offered for PS5 games. Now, you're now allowed to store them, right, on a external hard drive with the new update, but you are not able to play them because, and here we go, because PlayStation 5 games are designed to take advantage of the console's ultra-high-speed SSD, the company explains. You still have to copy them back over to the console's main SSD before you can play them. Still, Sony does say that the local data copy should be faster than reinstalling from the internet or copying games from a disk. Now, the latter I would say yes, but if you take into account that in the Netherlands, for example, we have a lot of people that have gigabyte internet. I have a gigabyte internet up and down. So that means that downloading from the internet is a pretty straightforward and quick procedure. Is it any quicker than going from a external SSD or HDD or whatever to the internal drive? I don't know. I have to see that. On the other side, why is it so necessary to have them take advantage of the console's ultra high speed SSD? The company is now making a decision for me that is what I need to see or want to see. As far as I know, is that the ultra SSD gives speed in, for example, load times. If my load time is impacted a bit because it's put externally and being offered to the console from an external SSD, I don't care. I just don't care. It's just the amount of manual processes you need to go through to play a game on your PlayStation 5 systems. Either your internal drive is too full, you need to delete it before you can install again. Now you've got an external drive, but you still need to swap games, because if your internal drive is full, you need to make choices on what games you're going to put to the external. So that's the first process you need to go through. And then you need to copy them, the one you want to play, from the external to the internal. So I am not really convinced that it is going to be any quicker, noticeably quicker than downloading from the internet, because you do need to have a lot of manual process to go through before you can put that game from your external to your internal drive. So to be fair, I am not really able to say that Sony is in a fantastic state where I think that I really love this company for what it's currently doing. Just how hard is it to just give people the options they need? And that's what I found with the Xbox Series X and with the Xbox environment, is that they've got a completer, consumer-friendly product and offering than Sony currently has. And that is why Sony is so hard to love right now. Now, this article was on The Verge. It has been made by Chaim Gartenberg, if I pronounced it right, so you can go to The Verge if you want to check it out yourself. Of course, there are other smaller updates on the PlayStation 5 big operating system update that's currently being rolled out. But the most important now is that you have the external HDD compatibility for PlayStation 5 games. You get it for 4, but now for 5. So I'm really keen on understanding, guys, do you already have a PlayStation 5? What's your experience other than the ooh and ah of how the game looks and feels? Just the impression of the system itself. Really keen on understanding what you guys found. I'll be back with you shortly, guys. Now back to the madness, please.